Hello everyone and welcome to another video on this channel. Today I'm going to talk about Big Bash League and international stars. And this is a very exciting topic because how are we going to balance the Big Bash League? We have local players and international talent. And what are the variables and factors in this? So the first thing is comparing it to other leagues. In the IPL, there are more international stars. But obviously in India, there's cricket all year round, unlike in Australia. So that's the interesting difference. In Australia, there's a lot of players around that haven't had the experience because they haven't played enough cricket. So it's going to be interesting to debate. So the first thing I'm going to say is the IPL is way different to the Big Bash. So the Big Bash League has less international players. It's a different audience. It's a different time of the year. It's not quite as expensive and high budget as the Big Bash. That's the thing. It'd be good to increase it to 4, in my opinion, because in the Australian side, there's 12 people or 15 people on the squad, and that takes 15 people out of the Big Bash. So who's going to replace that, having extra international stars? So making sure those overseas players can balance out the fact that there's a lack of Australian international players. So how do we make the league professional as possible? Because you want to make a challenge. You want to make the league entertaining to the viewers. And of course, if there is an issue with having all these international players, make more leagues through the year for Australia. There is not much cricket in winter. Maybe expand on the Northern Territory League. There's a few cricketers in that. Expand on that. Or do something in Queensland that's a bit higher. Make it a bit more commercial, perhaps. Because that's always interesting, the leveling up. So yeah, I do think they should franchise the Big Bash League a little bit more to make it more interesting. However, there is a downside. How are we going to know who's a good T20 international player to play for Australia? That's the downside. So if you think about it, Australia has a team of 11 solid power hitters, but would have Glenn Maxwell been discovered if they had picked an international star instead of him? No, exactly. So maybe that this was 10 years ago. When you start your career, do we have rotation policies? Do we have rules about that? I don't know personally. But the point is, the Big Bash League is struggling to get an audience this year a little bit. People are saying it's not right having it in early December and having it on Channel 7 instead of 10. It's different. So how are they going to get the views back? How are they going to market the game? That is the thing about it. The Big Bash League seems to have gone back a little bit. Test cricket's improving, which is very good. So it's not all doom and gloom. The Australian Test side are getting a lot of attention. Even all the casual cricket fans are following Test cricket a bit more, I'm noticing. Slight notice. This is all slight. The certain formats being broadcasted. There's not much ODI and T20 international. So the shorter formats, people are losing interest. People are going towards Test matches because that's the general free-to-air. And it's the Ashes, of course. So that's what people want to watch. And day-night Test cricket, this is a threat to the Big Bash. How are they going to balance day-night Test cricket and Big Bash League? Because they've had the day-night Test and Big Bash overlapping. And if you make Test cricket day-night, it will overrule and become much more popular. And the Big Bash will have to find their way around and post games in early December and February. And people don't support that. So the extra 16 Big Bash games, like the 59 now, it used to be 43. Should we go back to 43 Big Bash games? Now, of course, the television structure was 59 games now so that Foxtel can have 16 exclusive. Should we just have 43 games that are all on Channel 7? Foxtel won't like hearing that. So we're going to have 30 games on Channel 7. That means less exposure. So that's the issue with it. In the old days, if it's one broadcaster, you can just whip out all the games. It doesn't really matter because it's an exclusive. They don't care because they're showing the game exclusively. As long as they get the games, they're fine. But now that it's like that Foxtel want an exclusive. Every channel wants their own show of the game. When there's two broadcasters, they want twice as much cricket to be shown. Having international stars makes the broadcasters happy. It makes them feel like, here we are, having these exciting players. So how does it level up to the Ashes? Well, it's trying to equalize. And it's controlled by the same company. An honest choice. This is not IPL versus Pakistan versus West Indies. This is Australia, England versus Big Bash. How are those two going to match up? And the Big Bash League The attendance hasn't been fantastic, especially over East. Perth is getting a decent attendance, but guess what? Perth aren't hosting any games. So how do we get people to flock to stands? Will it work? I think they should give it a go and experiment. And if it doesn't work, go back to the old ways because that's what worked. So try different things and see how that works. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you after Christmas. Have a Merry Christmas. Bye for now.